I stutter on a lot. I ramble. That's the word I was thinking of. The word ramble. That's what it was. Hey there, I'm Misty, and welcome to the tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to do vector art, so you can get a product such as this. As you see here, not the logo. That's my logo. So let us open here. I just drew this yesterday, and I posted it, and a lot of people have been asking how to do this, so I figured why not just make a tutorial instead of telling everybody how to do it. Anyways, oh jeez. Sometimes when you scroll it gets that weird glitch where stuff disappears, but you just scroll again and it goes away. Don't mind that. If we look down here, there are many layers, and you will be making many layers because this is just layers and layers of things on top of each other to make it easier to draw. The way this program works is you will use 3 tools for this. If you press F1, you'll get this first tool, which is just the select. You can move things around. If you press F2, you'll get the editor, which I'll come back to in a second. If you press B, you get this Bezier curves, and you click on different points. And when you right-click, it creates a line. And then if you go back to the go back to your F2 tool, you are able to edit it, and you can move them around. And there you go. And then you mess with these different settings to try and make it match shapes. And so you'll click F1 to select this as an object. Press delete, get rid of that. And that's essentially all you need to do this. And the way vectoring works is you find a base and then you kind of just trace over it and then edit it and make it your own. So what we will do is you would Google MLP pose vector and just kind of look for what you want. This looks like a good one actually. I will copy this image. We will open back Inkscape, which is the program we will be using, which will be linked in the description, along with a plugin that I will have you install, which I will also show you how to install that in the description, not in here. We will do new for this image, because new from template lets you change the shape of your area you're working with, and for the one we just copied, just the default new is a good shape. If you look here, it's the paper shape. If you were doing, say, this Fluttershy, this shape wouldn't work because it's way too wide. So you would need to do a new from template and then copy your screen resolution or something. But for here, just paste this in. There we go. And if you see here, it has these rotator things, which isn't what we want. So if we, how do we do this? Oh yeah, you just click somewhere in the area and it twists them. Hold this, hold down Control, and it will keep the aspect ratio locked. Drag the pone onto the paper. Just a little more room. Alright, click off. There you go. And again, the F1 tool is what does that kind of stuff. F2 edits, which doesn't affect this image, but it will affect lines and paths and all that kind of stuff. So now that we have our pone here, let us go down to the bottom left, and you'll see a lock or unlock layer. We want to lock this, which means while this is locked, we cannot touch pone. You cannot mess up, which is good. And now, if you look here, we see we have one layer, which is not the easiest way to work in this program. You will want to use many, many layers. So if you either go up to this menu, or hit Control-Shift-N, which I definitely prefer, we will start making our layers. So let's start with the back legs, which are these darker ones. And if you don't know how layers work, it is everything on a layer above the layers below it is shown before the layers above it. So if I show you this one, let's say we take the horn and we move it up some layers, it starts showing through things. If we move it down layers, it messes up. And we don't want that. So let me undo this. Alright, making layers. We have the back legs, and above the back legs should be this back wing. Let's Control-Shift-N, back wing. Next, let's do the body, and then front legs. And again, I'm not saying the front legs are the legs in front of the pony, but the legs in front of the way we're looking at them. So the rider legs in this case. So both of their right legs would be the front legs, in the way I'm interpreting this. And then we need our front wing. Then we will need our mouth. Well, actually, this post doesn't have an open mouth. You can just do this in the head. But if you look at this one, You see I have the mouth, which, by the way, all the ponies had orange tongues, which is kind of weird. I didn't realize that until I started drawing yesterday. But so yeah, this mouth layer, the mouth layer is only these two shapes right here. And if you were doing this, you would just have a separate layer to put underneath the snout and lips. But this pose has a closed mouth, so we don't need to worry about that. So we will just put that under the head layer to make it easier. And then what else? We will need the back eye, front eye, horn, ear. Alright, and that should be all of our line layers. And then we're going to want to make more layers later, which would be for coloring, but that's at the end. And, or I guess as you go, if it helps you see. But how you do this is, if you noticed, say I want to color in the body. I'll select the body layer here. And then when I do Control-Shift-N, I can do below current instead of above. And if I do body color and add, now I can color on this one and it won't affect it. But I'm going to hide all the layers we are not working on. I don't know if there's a shortcut for this. I don't know, I just learned how to do this yesterday. Oh, what did I do? I zoomed in. Let us begin at the top with ear. So we will zoom into ear. Hello ear, say hello to your ear. We will press B to get our Bezier curves line tool thing, pen, marker, crayon, and we will click 3 points. We will click on the bottom part of the ear right here. There's 1 point. We want to follow the curve, and it would need to change here, and it would need to end here. And now if we right click somewhere, that will create our lines. And there you go, there's your ear. You're all done. Thanks for watching. So if you click F2, you get your editor tool. You can start lining up pieces. It's usually better to point them from the nodes. The nodes are these little editing areas. If you point them the right direction from the nodes, it will be easier to line up with your image. And it's gonna pull it down and back a little. And we're gonna pull this one in, down slightly. All right, that seems fairly lined up. I would say so. So now, if I have this export PNG, we don't want that. If you go to Object, Fill and Stroke, it will open the side panel here, which I probably should have closed at the begin with. You guys might have been worried you don't have that panel. I'm sorry about that. Fill, I will show you in a second. Stroke Paint is fine being left on black, and Stroke Style is what we want right now. So this image is fairly small, so the width is fairly small. If you have a big image, your width will be much larger. We will click this up arrow. You can also change patterns and all that, but you really don't need to for pony drawing. We'll just move this up until it looks like it's about the same size. Let's do one more. 1.8. Yeah. 1.865 is what we will be using, and all of them will be similar, so it doesn't really matter. Now, Stroke Paint. This is how we will be coloring this line we've made. And if you see down here, the RGBA, that's red, green, blue, alpha. Alpha is alpha transparency, which is kind of like see-through. You can make things translucent. So like, let's open here. If I make, this is just a drawing program I have. If I make this black color, and then if I take a yellow color and draw over it over here, it goes over it. But if I make it have some alpha transparency, it'll be a little bit see-through. So that's the way that kind of works. So usually you want to keep that at max, which is F, because in hex you count from 0 to F. You go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I forgot how to count for a second. And then you go A, B, C, D, E, F. And A, B, C, D, E, F count as numbers in the way hex works, which helps computers because just trust me. And so let's see. If you want it to be all black, you would want the red colors to be 0, the green colors to be 0, the black or the blue colors to be 0, and then the alpha to be full so you can see it, because you don't want it to be see-through. And then if you want it to be all white, that would be the opposite, and you'd max out all the colors. And that would be 2 Fs for red, 2 Fs for green, 2 Fs for blue, and 2 Fs for transparency. But we want it to be black, so we will make 6 zeros and 2 Fs because normally it's just all like that. And again, that makes it blank. If you have trouble understanding this, here's my pony maker thing I used to just for my colors. Say you want to use this blue color, you'd pick this in a program such as Paint Network, which is what I use, or just whatever. Say you're using an actual pony thing. I just googled this real quick, I haven't seen this before. Say you're drawing Twilight, you just Google a color code, and then down here they have all the codes for you to paste, and then just add the FF at the end to make it not invisible, see-through, and you can use that. So if I wanted to use this blue color, I would copy the hex right here, which is 34 red, A6 green, D3 blue, and I would paste it in here with the FF at the end, and now it's that color. But again, we want that to be black. And sorry for spending so much time on that. Some people don't understand, so I'd prefer if everyone learns more. So let's see. Oh, yeah, there's that. Sometimes scrolling makes it turn invisible. This isn't the perfect program. It has some bugs. Sometimes if you move layers around with these, you can move layers in different ways. I'm sure you've used PowerPoint. It's similar to that. Layer to top, raise layer, move whatever you have selected to a different layer, such as that. It won't actually update this list until you click on something else. So if you're trying to move layers around and you don't think it's working, just click on a different layer, and then when you open it again, it should be working. Either way, let's start with the next part of the ear line. We will click here and here. Again, that was B that I pressed. We will right click, press F2. We will point the nodes in the correct direction, and then we will match our line a little bit better. And if at any point you're having trouble getting it to work and you need to add another line, you can double click to make a node, and then you can do stuff like that. But usually the less nodes you have, the much smoother it is. And we'll get into the two different types of nodes you'll need up here, but we'll do that later. So let's start with stroke style. Let's see, what kind of width do we want? 1.165 seems about right. Yeah. Stroke paint, it's already black. If we wanted to, we could click on this one, do copy, click on this one, do Control Shift Paste, and that will copy the color and the width, but we only want the color, and it's black by default, so that would only be a waste of time in this situation, but in other situations that can be very helpful. So now you see we kind of have the ear outlined in a way. It's not the best thing. Actually, let me start doing it in Misty's colors. So just so I can show you an example of how to color it properly. If you open the stroke paint again, we will color these. I didn't copy it, did I? Copy. Paste. There we go. All right. And then we will do this again. Oh, whatever. I'll just type the F's myself. All right, and now it's colored. Okay. And then if we hide this layer, we'll see we have the ear kind of in shape. And oh, I accidentally unlocked it. Look that back. So see, it's kind of in shape, but it's really blocky and not that good. So what we're gonna do is click on the path you've made here out of these lines, and we will do Control-Alt-C, and that will turn it into this shape, which you can also do by path, stroke to path, I believe. Yeah, Control-Alt-C, stroke to path. And then what this does is changes the way this works. So instead of only being a line with a really thick border, such as this, it is now just like an actual 2D shape. So that's handy. What we're gonna wanna do is delete this node. So you just wanna drag select and press delete. I'm gonna drag select this one, press delete. And let's see. It might be easier if we get rid of these nodes. See in a second. Let's shape this up. Get that nice curve. Yeah, this node's annoying. Let's get rid of that one. Alright. Oh, one of my cats wants in. Let's try and match this up a little better. It looks fine. This one's a little different, and again, it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't think I said it. I don't think I need to say it again, but it doesn't need to be look excuse me, it doesn't need to look perfect because you're trying to make your own image anyway. You're not trying to just copy this one. Let's see. This one's a little pointy. So if we click on the node and come up here, these are the two types of nodes. This left one is a corner node, which means the lines on each side are completely unaffected by each other. This one is a smooth node, which means the lines on both sides are very much affected by each other. So you see it kind of smoothed it out. So let me see if I can show you an example here. This currently is a corner node, which means these two lines can do whatever they want without affecting the other. But if I make it a smooth node, it tries to keep it as smooth as possible, and it limits how you can move it, but it looks a lot better. F1 delete. Alright, so this ear is taking a lot better of a shape so far. It's a little thick here and a little thin here, but I don't plan on keeping this image, so I'm not going to worry about that. We'll click F2, click on this line. We'll do the same thing. Control-Alt-C, stroke to path. We want it to curve which way? This way. We want to cut off this corner. And we want to cut off this corner. Alright, and then we'll need to move these back to where they should be. Kind of line this up. Make it look good. That's good enough, I'd say. And then let's remove this. Yeah, that seems about right. Alright, good job. Let's say you want to color this. If we go to the ear layer, Control-Shift-N, position below current, we'll name this ear color. We will press B to get our tool. We will roughly follow the inside of this because this layer is underneath it. And I have magnets on. Let me turn those off. I'll show you how to do that later. And that's good enough for now. You want to keep this black line because it's easy to see. You want to shape this to make sure the black line is not visible. This node's in a bad spot. Actually, I may as well show you magnets now in case you do get this issue. So what happened with this node was it automatically snapped to the edge of this one, and that is this button over here. But the shortcut for this is %, also known as Shift 5. So when you're making these nodes, if you want it to snap to another piece, which I'll show you will be very helpful later, but not always helpful because sometimes you don't want it to snap, you'll just press %, and then that toggles it on or off, and you can switch between it there. So here it looks decent. We will now turn off the stroke paint, which makes the line visible, go into the fill, do a solid flat color. Alright, so now it's all this color, which is ugly and hideous. Let's pick this color, and we will change it. Alright, click out, and the ear is now colored, and it's on two separate layers, so if you need to hide it and look underneath it, you can do so. But we've now drawn an ear. Give yourself a pat on whatever you feel necessary. Let's do the eyes, the head shape, the eyes. I think you can pretty much figure out the rest of it. I will show you a little bit again at the end, but let's get the important stuff out of the way early. So if you need to watch this tutorial a few times, everything you need is at the beginning, hopefully. So let us move to the head layer. Let us make it visible so we can draw on it. We will press B. And let's see. We will want to be using the, what is it called? Ellipse by 5 points, which is an extremely useful plugin. Again, it will be in the description, and the download page will have a tutorial. So how this works is we will want to start drawing ellipses, which is never the easiest thing, but we can make it easy. So if you draw lines, just make a note here, and if you draw lines to make 5 points with 4 lines, and then click this tool, it will generate an ellipse out of the lines you've drawn. So if we draw here, it doesn't really matter, you just want to make sure you get it on points. Alright, there's 5 points, 4 lines. Right click, we have our shape. So if we do extensions, generate from path, ellipse by 5 points, we've now drawn this ellipse that's almost the exact same, which is very, very helpful. It's only this black outline, and you can edit if you need to. If it doesn't look right, you can undo it. If you need, you can press F1 and then you can like reshape it or whatever, but I'm just going to keep it because it's fine enough. Let's do it again for this one. Try something like that. I really don't know if this has a shortcut. I don't believe so, but I think that one looks good. I can't really tell. Let's do the black part. Let's go up here, 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 here. Why not? Different path, ellipse. All right, and as you see now, this part is currently overlapping the other one. So what we will do is we will pick this new ellipse. We want to move it down below these other two. We will do Control Shift Page Down. Or is it a Shift Page down? No, it's Control Shift Page Down. All right. I said it a few times to move it down a little bit. It'd be easier to see if it was filled in, but I'm assuming you get the point. If you don't, this isn't the best tutorial, and I will link you to a very long but very good tutorial also about all the same stuff. So next, we will create this part. Let's see, what do we want? Let's try that. That might be good. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Awesome. And we'll need the white part. Let's go out here. 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 Yay. Ellipse. Hello, ellipse. Alright, we got these eye parts. Hello, eye parts. Nice to meet you. Click F1. Let's click on this shape. Fill. We want it to be all white. Stroke. We want no stroke outline. And actually, we will Control-C copy, click on this one, Control-Shift-V to paste it, and that will copy the stroke and fill. So this also has no stroke now and is filled with white. This shape we will want to fill with black, which is 6 zeros, 2 Fs, stroke paint, no stroke. Okay, so again, this moved it up for some reason. So Control-Shift, page down. Oh, it's just page down. Okay, sorry, that's my bad. I was shifting it through layers. Just page down alone is what shifts it. All right, and I did just catch something. We are accidentally on the head layer and not the eye layer. That is a mistake I've made. We don't want that. So I will Control-A to select all of these. Layer, move selection to layer, and we will move this all to, where is it? Front eye. All right, we'll make this layer visible now. And then we will hide the head layer so we don't accidentally do that again. Alright, so we are now on the correct layer. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place on this one. I usually script stuff, but this is a lot of information to cover. We will need to make this part a gradient, as you can see. And let's see, what are my eyes? The Pony Maker eyes are only a gradient of 2 colors. The show ponies eyes are a gradient of 3 colors. I don't know if there's... You can kind of see 3 different colors. I will show you how to do those. So let's pick this first color down here. Copy. We will be doing stroke paint, none. Fill, linear gradient. As you see here, it has this linear gradient. And if you don't understand what's happening, it is making this side be this black color and the other side be completely see-through. Full alpha transparency, and it is slightly transitioning between those 2 colors throughout it. So if we click on here and then we click on this edit, these toolbars up here will change. You can select between different gradients if you save it so you don't have to remake it. So say we can make the gradient for the eye on this one and then we can reuse it over there. Let me turn off this heated blanket. This is very hot. Wait, did I just turn it on? No, okay, I turned it off, sorry. So, yeah, that's how that works. We will only be using the stops right here. So if you click on the stop, each stop is each color of the gradient. So if we add another one in the middle and say it was red, it would go from black to red and then from red to see-through, which is what the show one uses. But to make it easier, I'm just only going to do 2. If you wanted to do 3, then you would just add another stop, which I will show you how to do, and then I'll just undo it. So the first color, actually no, we're looking at the bottom. The bottom color is this, which we just copied from my Pony Maker thing. And then the top color is this. So if you wanted to add another stop, you would get your tool and you would create another node on this line here. Say we want to make this part this color, and now it transitions between those, but I don't, and I don't want the node there because mine is only 2 colors, but if you're doing, again, a show pony, it would be 3 colors. And if you want to change the way your gradient looks, this line is what determines the gradient, as you can see from the way I'm moving it. But the way it sets it up default is fine. This one might want to be a little brighter on this side. That should be good. Alright, and now this gradient is finished and saved there, and we can reuse it later. Let's F1 to click off this tool. Click on this, page down, page down, page down. Yeah, I think that's fine. Let's copy the format from this and Control-Shift paste it on here. Down, 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 down. Alright, we have a pretty good outline of the eye for now. But if you may have noticed, this... Oh, that's not really what I wanted. I'll just hide this. There are these weird like reflection lines here, and what I picked up from a very good tutorial that I will also be linking in the description if you want a slower and better tutorial, excuse me, is to turn on the stroke and make it see-through for these two, just so we can work between it real quick. Alright, so what we want to do to make this easier is we want to make some lines in a triangle way to make this work. If you see, these are pointing to about here. Create a node, create a node, create a node, create a node. Alright, so we have this triangle shape we've made, which covers in these 2 sections here. So what we want to do is you click on this, we will want to add another node in the middle here, so it lines up with this line. Alright, and now if we press Control-D, that duplicates it. And if we move this around, you can see there are now 2 of these triangles on top of each other. We will want on one of them to delete this node and make these corners so that they snap immediately together. Then if we click on the one in the back, we want to delete the opposite node and make these 2 corners. So now our shapes are these 2 corner things here, 2 triangles. So what we'll do is let's copy the first color. We will want that to be the fill for this shape. And we want no stroke. And then we will do a similar thing for the other shiny part. No stroke and a fill of copied color. Alright. Although now you have a triangle in your eye. You don't want that. So what we will do is, let's show this one again real quick. Turn off stroke, turn on fill, turn on gradient. Oh, appears the gradient's been messed up. It's odd. Did it save like that? Huh, it did. That's odd. Let me fix that real quick. Alright, we're back. I fixed the gradient. That was odd. Okay, so what we're going to do is click on the gradient. I'm going to Control-D to duplicate it. I don't know why that's... okay, well, I don't know why it's like this, but whatever. If you hold Shift, and hopefully yours isn't like that, because I don't know what's wrong, but it'll be fine, you'll see. If you hold Shift and click these 2 triangles, then right-click on the triangles, and do Set Clip, it will crop them to only be inside of this. And then if you do page down to move them underneath that, that just happened. That was weird. It looked like it changed colors. Anyways, it's there now. It works. You see what I mean? All right. Now that the eye area is finished, we will need to do the eyelashes to wrap this up. So let us go to, we're on front eye. Create layer above eyelashes. You can do both of them on one layer. It's fine. We'll do a similar thing again. come down here, go up here, and would you look at that? We're doing what we always do. We will be shaping this to match this. We should probably hide the front eye to make that easier. Go back to the eyelashes, click on here, try and match it up to get that right. Alright, that looks good enough. Let's make it thicker. That's about right. And now, let's see, we will need to Control-Alt-C. Here we go. We want this corner to be gone. We want this corner to, actually, that can stay there. That's fine. But we will need to be editing this. So let's kind of shape this up. Make it a little better. This node's in the way. This node's in the way. Alright, so now we're going to do the eyelashes. We'll click here, and here, and then here, and here, and then here and here. And wow, it's very exciting. We will be shaping it to fit. Whatever you think looks right. I think these look right. We will be making them the correct size. 1.7, copy, shift paste, Control-Alt-C to make them these blocks. So we'll get rid of these outer ones. And then actually let's get rid of these inner nodes. They can get in the way. Make it a little more difficult. Oh, this one doesn't have them. Awesome. F2 editing tool, which we are already using. Let's match this up a little better. Alright, that side looks good. How's this side? Alright, that one's done. Match this up here. That looks good. That's good enough. And then here. Alright. And now what we're going to do to line this up better is we will do %Shift5, turn on snapping, and snap this node to the corner there. Actually, I should probably do it a little bit before the corner. Nah, once the corner, that's fine. And that will make sure it lines up all nice. So let's fill that out a little more. And then if we hide this layer, you can see how smooth this goes. See the different lines here. It's very nice eye. And let's see, are we missing anything? This node actually looks like it's kind of messing stuff up. So let us, actually, can we fix that with making it a smooth node? Ah, we can. Awesome, that looks a little better, doesn't it? It's good enough. No one will really notice. What I'm talking about is it's a little flat here. You could bend that out if you wanted to delete the node, redo it. But for the sake of the tutorial, I think it's good enough. So let us go back to our thing. We will show this. And there we go. This is... Actually, let's show front eye. Alright, now that we have the eyelashes done, we can hide the rest of this pupil behind it. To do so, we will want to crop it to fit inside the mask of this white part. So we will click this, we will duplicate it, then we will click on anything that sticks past the eyelash, and we will right click it. Again, I use shift click to select multiple things. Set clip, that's stuck there. Do it again, duplicate, click, right click, and set clip. And for some reason that didn't work. Let me see what's wrong. Alright, I'm not sure what was wrong with mine. I just redid it and it worked. But yeah, hopefully you don't have that issue. Anyways, let us show your color, because we did that. And then let us hide the base template. And now you can see everything we've done so far. That looks pretty good, I'd say. Did we forget Nope, okay, this one just doesn't have lower eyelashes. Sometimes characters have lower eyelashes, but it's the same as here. And what you would do is you would just put it behind the eye white on a different layer other than this eyelash layer, which is above it. But if that doesn't make sense, you can message me. I'll be in the comments answering all your questions and such. I think that's about it to show you the basics. The rest is the same thing, just going through and filling out stuff. If I look through this, it is everything I've talked about in the tutorial that makes this entire image. You just make the lines, fit them, shape them, match them, do different layers, color underneath it. So now you have your base done, we're assuming, and you will want to start working on the main, which hopefully will be unique if you're doing a OC. What you will be doing is this pencil tool, which is F6, and you will make a, I'm not going to bother organizing this because I'm using it, make a sketch of the main, and you will want to turn on your smooth a lot. And let's say I'm doing Misty's hair, do something like this. That's a very far line. I'm going to try redoing that. How did it go? Something like this, I'm pretty sure. That's wrong. Yeah, I made some mistakes. I'm just gonna roughly draw it out. That was horrible, jeez. Link that up. That's fine. Oops, drew a line. And set that up. And I drew another line. It was something like that was the main part of the main. And then the back was something like that. That's real bad. Something like that. And then you do the same thing for the tail. I'm just going to show you. You just it's a beautiful tail. Then you would make the layer on top. Go back to the sketch layer. Control A, select all. Turn the opacity down. Oh jeez, where did I go? Go to the coloring layer, and you would just go over shapes like this, like how you've been doing, and that's how you would design your own main. And if it's just a sketch, you definitely don't have to try and match it up perfectly. You just want it to look good, but you get the point. I think that's about it. So sorry this tutorial wasn't the best. I stutter on a lot. I ramble. That's the word I was thinking of. The word ramble. That's what it was. I ramble on a lot, and which is why I normally tend to do live videos much more often than scripted things. Which I'm also doing this unscripted. So which is why this is horrible and really bad to follow. If you need me to remake this tutorial, I definitely will. But enjoy. Alright, so if you want to add your Cutie Mark, I recommend a program such as GIMP, because you can easily do perspective and such. Let me add the mark here. Let me, resize this. What size do we want? How's that look? It's a little big. I already have it on this image, but I'm just showing you. Let's make it about this size. Alright, then we will take the perspective tool. And let's say we want it on a plane, kind of like, let's see, something kind of like that. Transform. That's about how I had it before. But yeah, that's how you would put your Cutie Mark on. And now I'll end the video.